We made it. This is the end. All right, last time we're working on the portfolio, and we've officially wrapped up Bootstrap. So what we're doing in this, we're going to jump back in the portfolio and we're going to change the gallery that we've already created. Remember, it was the thumbnail gallery. Sorry, no, actually, this one is the gallery page itself, the one that has all the jumbotrons that link to the separate galleries. Not really the best design now that I think about it, right? You don't really need all those jumbotrons to just link to different pages. We're going to change that to a carousel, and we'll be able to flip through the carousel and have links to all of the galleries. It's going to be a lot nicer. And then we're going to replace the nav bar that we have with these tabs. So let's just go ahead and dive in. I don't think we're going to need to copy code. Instead, we're just going to work with the starter skeleton. So according to the exercise, it's saying instead of copying your code, you'll start with from the starter skeleton from the docs. So I'm going to go to the docs and I'll go down to Bootstrap, and let's start with the Bootstrap skeleton that they give us. So it's right inside of the docs. I'm just going to copy and paste. All right, remember this was just the starter code that you use to create a Bootstrap file. It has the link to the Bootstrap CSS, the Bootstrap JavaScript. That's what makes all of our amazing CSS rules work and gives you all of that Bootstrap functionality. So I got that right from the Docs tab by going over to the Bootstrap Basics. All right, so that's according to this step one. Next, we're going to create a Jumbotron inside of the div with the class container fluid. So we're first going to need that container fluid div. So I'm going to start with that. And this is, again, what's going to give us that mobile responsive page, which is the power of Bootstrap. And again, one of the main features behind using this framework. So we got that. And inside of here, we need to create a Jumbotron. So this is going to say galleries. But first, let's actually create a Jumbotron to hold that text. And then the text is going to be an H1 tag. All right. Looks like we got an extra tag I don't need there. Okay, and now I'm just going to put in the text, the galleries. All right, beautiful. Then copy or create a container and put the nav tabs inside. So I'm going to create a second container. And this one is going to hold my nav, which I'm going to create with an unordered list. And the class is going to be nav tabs. Okay, this one is an example that we did see prior, but we haven't actually built a nav this way. So this is a little new. And then we will also create, of course, the links inside of the nav, right? So the first one is going to be home, and that one's going to go to index HTML. And I'm just going to steal that and copy it a few more times for the rest of my nav, and of course change the file. So the second one should go to the gallery page, and that should be galleries. And then we have pricing and contact. So this is pricing HTML, and the text is going to say pricing. And then last but not least, contact HTML. So we just created the nav bar using nav tabs, which is just another style of navigation. Okay, I'm going to make this one the active, since that's the page we're working on. And then finally create a new container under the navbar container, and that's the one that we're going to be building the carousel into. So under this one, we need another container, and we can get the Bootstrap template from this link here. So they give it to us. It says copy the starter code with captions into the third container. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Here's what the carousel looks like. It's really nice because you get individual frames for each picture, and when you have a bunch of content, instead of having it all splattered on the page at once, you can give the user this option of just flipping through like an album sort of. All right, so let's go ahead and copy the code for the carousel. It's a lot of code. I'm just going to highlight from the top to the bottom. Oops. Control C. You can even hit try it yourself and play around with it as well. And whenever you make changes in the editor, you can run it and see the changes down here. So it's pretty nice. It's interactive. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that for now into here. And then I'm just going to run it to see how things look, because before or next, actually, we're going to modify it. So let's see what things are looking like so far by running this. I'm going to run it, open it up in a new tab so I can see what I got. All right, so technically it's looking okay. We have the tabs, we do have the controls. The images may not be showing properly because I don't have them stored here. So whatever they're linking to is not available on CodeHS, but we're going to be using our own images anyway. So yeah, it looks like LA JPEG, Chicago JPEG. We don't have these files in CodeHS, so that's why we're getting these broken image icons. But other than that, it's working, right? We can see that it's working. My galleries tab should be active. Let me see if I move that active class to the list item, because I might have it in the wrong place. Let me see what the difference is going to be. Not really a big deal, but trying to stay as close to the exercise as possible. All right, so that's better. So now we know that we're on the galleries page because it's active and it's tabbed to that tab. All right, so we're not really focusing on any other pages, but I can see the effect and what it's going to look like. So pretty quickly got this going. Let's go ahead and modify the styles next, or modify the template. All right, so this next part should be pretty simple. We want to just modify the code that we have. So again, I'm in the third container here, and I just pasted in that Bootstrap template right into the container. So all this code here, we got to edit it to make it fit our needs, right? So first thing I'm going to do is, I know that I have a castle gallery, a cats gallery. I believe there's also a landscapes, and I forget the fourth one. Let me go back and look at the previous photo portfolio to remind myself, because I can't remember off the top of my head. So let's just quickly run that. To remind ourselves. Okay, oh, party. Okay, so we have party, landscapes, castles, cats. All right, so perfect. So now that I know what I want to show up, I'm going to change the pictures, right? So here are the wrappers for the slides. I can see that from the content, and this is the carousel code in this div. So I'm going to start here. First, I'm going to just find images that I can use because we're not given any. Let me double check and make sure that's correct before I misspeak. Yeah, we're going to have to find our own picture. So I'm going to go to Google Images, and I'm going to search images that I can use. Actually, better yet, let's go to the public domain pictures just to be safe. Okay, we learned in the previous lesson we don't want to use anything that's copyrighted, so I'm going to go with party to begin with. I'm just going to start with my first carousel. Excuse that. All right, so party, 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 party. All right, so I may do something, like this with the balloons. Copy the image. Oh, sorry, copy image address. All right, it's been a while since I worked with images, so we want to put that inside of the source tag. And then for the alt text, we want something else to show up instead. So if the picture for any reason is not available, the text is going to say party photos. All right, and now I'm going to find pictures for the other ones. We have party photos, then I need a landscape photo. All right, so that should take care of the images in the carousel. Let's run that and see what we have so far. Okay, this looks good. I'm going to save it. I'm going to refresh my page. So technically this is working, but the images are really tiny. So there's a rule for that, I think. Yes. Add this rule to your CSS rules to make the slide images take up the whole space. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just thinking we can just do this with some styling. So I'm going to add this as an embedded style sheet inside of the head of my document. Remember, you can embed styles right into your webpage and just copy and paste that inside of some style tags. So really easy. Let's see what that looks like. So this is going to resize all of the images in the carousel. Okay, excellent. All right, so if the image is looking a little too blurry, you might need to go back and get that larger image anyway, but I think we get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I mean. So for example, right, this cat's image, if I replace it with this instead, copy image address, let's see what difference that would make. So down here for cats, I'm gonna delete the link I have. I paste that in, save it, refresh my gallery, and let's see if it fixes that blurry issue. Because we definitely don't want like blurry pictures. Yeah, so a lot better. Okay, I would go back and do that again. Just get the full size picture. So I would go back and also grab that for the previous ones I did. So my landscape, instead of getting that thumbnail, you might want the larger image. So copy the image address. This one was for landscapes. I think last but not least, we're going to want to figure out how to put a caption into this so that we can see the title of the gallery and make that a link to the actual gallery itself, because that's the whole point of this. Let's take a little mini break if you need it. Just pause this and then we'll come back and we'll finish it up with that last little caption piece. All right, so back on W3C where we got the starter code, if you scroll down, there is a piece that is called add captions to slides, and this gives you the code for how to add captions to slides. So nice because, again, the code is given to us. Those of you intimidated by coding, hopefully this helps ease your tension and stress around it. When you see a lot of it is available for us free and really easy to use and makes coding way less intimidating, way less tedious, and allows us to just quickly and easily customize. To add a caption in, you're literally just going to add in a div tag under the picture with carousel caption, and that should do it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna copy that. We should already have the active item div from the previous starter code. All right, which we do. We have the item. So I'm gonna go up to the first one for the balloons, and underneath it, I'm gonna paste that in the code that I got. I'm just tabbing in to make things a little more readable. Okay, good coding habit. And I'm going to change the text. I don't need a paragraph. We're only going to do the title of the gallery. So this one's going to be party photos. And all of these are going to be links to the actual gallery itself. But since we didn't work on any of the pages except the castle gallery, I'm just going to use a hashtag for the placeholder inside of the anchor tag. Okay, I'm going to take that closing anchor tag, put it on the other side of photos, and that should do it. Before I copy this to the rest of the carousel, let me refresh this and see how things are looking. All right, beautiful. So you see party photos there, and it looks good. If I click on it, it's not taking me anywhere now, and that's not important as long as you have the header. So let's add that to the rest of the carousel. All right, so one last final refresh for Bootstrap. Oh my God, so exciting. Okay, so loving the carousel, love the pictures. Hopefully you went back and got the larger photos. Okay, landscapes, see the text there, castles, and then finally cats. Guys, we did it. And what a funny photo to end on. We are officially done with the portfolio. We have learned so much. You now have the power to build beautiful, mobile, responsive web pages using Bootstrap. Remember to use documentation when you need it, use templates to make things easier for yourself and modify where needed. If you have any questions on this project, this lesson, leave them down below in the comments. And the only thing left in this Bootstrap unit, if you're up for it, are some challenges. I'm not going to be creating videos for those. I'll leave that up to you since now you have the Bootstrap knowledge to create them and complete them. But I'm here to help on your Bootstrap journey. So let me know how I can help and keep up the amazing work. This is only the beginning of what you can create. There's just so much more. Really nice work.